Hey everybody, it's Brooke with The Buttered Home and welcome to My Messy Kitchen. Today we have a beautiful blueberry cake that we are going to be sharing with you that's easy to make with pantry staple ingredients. You can even make it with frozen blueberries. Yes, you can. So this is a great in season for blueberry cake as well as out of season. So for our fresh blueberry cake, any time of the year, stay tuned. We're going to show you how to make it. Alright, so what I have done ahead of time is I have 2 cups of blueberries that I have combined with about a tablespoon of sugar and about a 1/4 cup of plain flour. Or self-rising, it doesn't matter. We're using self-rising in the cake itself, so you can use self-rising on here. This is just to kind of hold the berries together. So in another large mixing bowl, we are going to cream some of our ingredients together. So I have a 1/2 cup or 1 stick of butter that's room temperature, and we're baking. So all these ingredients are going to be room temperature. So we're going to cream our butter and our 1 cup of sugar and about 2 tablespoons of lemon zest. That's probably going to be the equivalent of the zest of 1 lemon. And I like using my micro grater, I don't even know what it's called, to do this because it helps me make sure that I don't get any of that white or the pith in here. And it keeps it all, because I flip it upside down, it keeps it all in this well here so I can just rake it out whenever I need it and it's done. All right, so, and this lemon won't be wasted because I'll cut it up and put it in my water later. So we'll set that aside and then we'll take our lemon zest and just pop it right in. I just like to make sure I get it all off that grater and off my fingers. And then we're going to cream this with a hand mixer. Alright, so we've got that lemon zest and our butter creamed with the sugar, and I like doing the lemon zest at that point because it gets into the butter, it gets into the sugar, and those are the things that when they hit the heat in the oven, they cause that cake to pop and rise without adding any other leavening agents, so to speak. So now we're going to add in our first liquid, which is 1 egg. Carefully add that dude in and set my shell to the side, and then I'm going to mix it well. That egg starts to give us the creamy texture that we're used to, that we're looking for, and then we're not going to overmix at this point because it's a cake and we don't want to overmix it. So now we're going to add in probably, gosh, I guess about a teaspoon of salt. And then we're going to add in a teaspoon of vanilla. Trying to be careful here that I don't get it everywhere. And mix that in. All right, we got our salt and our vanilla in there really well. Now we have 1 3/4 cup of self-rising flour, so I'm going to add about half of that to the mix, just because I don't want to do what I just did and poof, make a big poof. And then we have 1 cup of buttermilk, also room temperature, and I'm gonna add probably all of that in. We're gonna add all that in. Okay, we're gonna mix that up. now the last half of my flour. And it made a poof anyway. All right, now we have a beautiful, dense scratch cake recipe. I'm just gonna grab a spatula. And now that looks like a lot more blueberries than cake. There's a reason for that, okay? And that is because we want every single bite of this beautiful cake to have those blueberries in it. So I'm just gonna fold some in. And there'll be a little bleed from the blueberries into the cake batter, and that's okay because the top is gonna brown and it won't be purple. And then it will just become like, gosh, this almost marbled version of a cake with the blueberries. We're gonna mix that final batch of those in because we just want this cake to be bursting with blueberries. All right, so now I have a small loaf pan that I'm gonna spray with some Baker's Joy, if I can get my Baker's Joy to work. Okay, and I always over spray my pan because there's nothing worse than a cake sticking. There's just not. Okay, so if your blueberries don't get folded in the way you want them, that's okay. I'm going to show you how to fix that after we get the cake into the pan. I'm just going to make sure I get all of that out. And it looks like blueberry ice cream, I'll just be honest with you. And I could eat this as is with a spoon. So I'm just gonna grab a clean spoon or another spatula if you wanted to, and just press this cake out. This is a homemade cake, so the batter is really dense. But trust me, when it cooks up perfectly. All right, so my berries were pretty well incorporated, but what happens during the cooking process is these berries are gonna move around because everything in here is gonna sort of liquefy and the berries are gonna move around. So they don't have to be perfect. We have enough berries in this cake that every bite will have a berry in it. So this will go into a 350-degree oven for about 60 minutes. Then I'll check it and make sure that the internal temperature is around 205. And if it is, then we'll take it out, let it cool, turn it out, and then come back and show you this perfect fresh blueberry cake. So don't go away. All right, everybody, we are back. We finished about a 1 hour, roughly, like I use a thermometer, and I always test the center to make sure that it's about 205 degrees because that is the perfect moist cake, 205 degrees. So remember that one for any cake that you make. So it took probably about an hour and 15 minutes, roughly. I didn't time the last, I just kept kind of checking it every 5 minutes. But y'all, let's look. It is gorgeous. I have already cut one piece, and would you just look at all of the blueberries. I'm gonna cut another slice so you can see how beautiful and moist and delicious this cake is. It is the perfect ratio of blueberry to cake. Now we're gonna take a bite, and I'm not going to get a plate. I'm just gonna eat it off this board. But look how pretty, look at the ratio. Your blueberries outnumber the cake. And in this cake, that is exactly what you want. So let's try it. Perfect. Just a hint of lemon to brighten up those blueberries, but not too much. So good. The cake is a traditional vanilla cake, so it's not too sweet, not overpowering. It's just what you want to let those wonderful blueberries and that bright, tiny bit of lemon just to shine through. This blueberry cake can be found over at our website at thebutteredhome.com with a nice printable recipe. Free to you, print out and put in your recipe book. Also, if you're not already, make sure you're following us on all of our social channels. We have a real good time and we want you here with us for it all. And as always, if you want all of our videos in one convenient place, head over to YouTube, search for The Buttered Home, and when you find us, hit that subscribe button so that you can be notified when we drop new videos like this one. Okay, I'm gonna go find Big D, give him some cake, make him fall in love with me all over again. From the buttered home to your home, we sure love y'all. Bye.